The snow is swirling outside, wind whipping against the windows, and the lights flicker, and then they go out. The house gets colder by the minute, but your pantry, it's ready because you planned for a winter blackout. Hello, friends. I'm Leisa Sutton, and I believe that real peace of mind starts in the most important place in your home, your kitchen. Think about it. We insure our cars, our homes, even our health. We plan for retirement, we save for a rainy day, but what about the one place we turn to every single day for comfort and security? Our pantry. This podcast isn't about fear, it's about freedom. Freedom from stress when life throws you a curveball, whether it's a snowstorm, a job loss, or just a week too busy for grocery runs. A well-prepared pantry means you can always take care of the ones that you love. Here on Pantry Preparedness, I'll share simple, practical strategies to help you stock smarter, store better, and turn your pantry into the best insurance policy you'll ever own. From saving money to stretching meals, you'll learn how to build a resilience right at home. Today we're going to chat about building a pantry for winter power outages. I don't know about where you are, but where I'm at, the temperature took a serious nosedive. We have had highs in the mid-60s all week long. It has just been amazing after the heat that this summer delivered to us. So I'm even more in the mind now to think about fall and winter and make sure that we're prepared for them, make sure that I'm dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and I thought I'd bring you along with me. This episode is going to be a full guide to building your pantry for winter blackouts. What to stock, why it matters, and how to actually cook and stay warm when the electricity isn't there to help you. And I'll share a few of my own tips and experiences along the way. Power outages in summer are inconvenient, but power outages in the winter, they can be dangerous. Let's break down what's different, why it matters, and how to deal with it. What's different? In summer, you worry about food spoiling in the fridge. In winter, you still worry about that, but you also worry about your pipes freezing, your home losing heat, and your ability to cook. Winter outages can last longer because crews have to fight the snow, ice, and freezing conditions to repair the grid. Why it matters is because cold storage issues mean your frozen meat can thaw fast, and ironically, your kitchen can get so cold you can't safely cook. Frozen pipes can cost thousands of dollars in damage, and hot meals are more than comfort food. They literally help keep your body warm. Why it matters. Cold storage issues mean your frozen meat can thaw fast, and ironically, your kitchen can get so cold you can't safely cook. Frozen pipes, they can cost thousands of dollars in damage. Hot meals are more than comfort food. They literally help keep your body warm. So how we're going to deal with it is to put thermometers in your refrigerator and your freezer so you know if the food has stayed safe. Keep extra water stored because frozen pipes are no joke, or water main breaks can leave you dry. You want to make sure that you have at least 2 gallons per person per day for at least a week. Layer up your clothing and blankets so you're using less energy and food fuel just to stay warm. Having a knit cap, if you never wear it any other time, during a power outage in the winter will make you so much warmer. There's a reason that they used to wear them to bed back in the day, because putting that hat on keeps the heat in your body. It makes a significant difference in your comfort. What is your biggest concern during a winter blackout? Food, heat, or water? I'd love to hear from you. Next, the winter blackout pantry list. Let's dig into the pantry shelf. If you had to build a single shelf dedicated to winter blackouts, what would be on it? This is what I would put on mine. Soups and stews, because they're hearty, filling, and easy to heat. Canned meats, canned chicken, tuna, salmon, beef, whether they are commercially canned or whether they are home canned. These are the first ingredient for a super easy meal, okay? You don't even have to heat them up if you don't want to, but at that point, you probably want to. Powdered milk and cocoa, perfect for warming drinks. Having powdered milk and cocoa, you can use the cocoa as a coffee creamer if you want coffee, or you can just make hot cocoa. The powdered milk is always a huge bonus during things like emergencies like this. You do want to spend a little bit of time to become familiar with it. You know, learning how to use something during an emergency is never the right time to learn how to use it. You do want to look at high-calorie snacks, nuts, trail mix, protein bars, because the higher calories will give your body something to burn off that will then keep you warmer without having to do a whole lot of extra stuff for it. But still, go cautiously into those. You know, you don't want to overindulge because that's not good either. Pasta and jarred sauce, versatile, simple, comfort food. That says it all right there. You can do anything with some jarred sauce and some pasta. It's amazing what you can make. Now, why these foods? 1, they give you calories for warmth. 2, they keep morale up when spirits are low. And 3, they don't need refrigeration and they're really easy to prepare. How do you stock them? That's always the fun part. Rotate soups and stews into everyday meals so nothing goes to waste. Keep meats in sealed tubs so that you can grab them quickly. Store cocoa and powdered milk in airtight jars to prevent clumping. You know, just a simple pro tip is to make a dedicated blackout shelf for your family so that your family doesn't snack away your emergency stash. Now, you don't want to just let it sit there and go to waste either, but if you live any place like I do where the power goes out on a pretty frequent basis, you'll make use of it. Otherwise, just make a note on your calendar to make sure that you rotate that into your regular pantry and fill it with new when the time comes. Now we've got the food, but how do we actually cook it without electricity? There's a multitude of ways. Butane stoves, thermal cookers, insulated mugs and thermoses, outdoor grill or fire pit as a backup, right? A butane stove is small, portable, and can boil water or heat a pan in minutes. A thermal cooker lets you simmer something briefly, then keeps it cooking without adding more fuel. Those are super handy to have. Thermoses keep food and drinks hot for hours. So if you can make a pot of coffee and then put it into thermoses, you've literally got hot coffee for hours. Outdoor grills are safe backups if you plan ahead to have the fuel that you need and the weather is not too bad. You obviously don't want to be out there during a blizzard trying to cook on your grill, and you don't want to bring the grill inside, ever. So plan accordingly for that. You want to remember to always use these things safely. Always ventilate when using a butane stove indoors. Keep extra fuel cartridges sealed and stored properly. Practice with your thermal cooker before you need it. It's like slow cooking without the power bill. So it will take a little bit of practice to get it right to where you want it. Never ever bring a charcoal or propane grill inside. Don't do it. Now, most of you that have been with me for a while know that my personal favorite way of heating up any kind of food during a power outage is a fondue pot. If you are looking for an inexpensive, easy to do heat and eat, a fondue pot is it, because you can put a can of soup in there. You can heat up water to make some tea. You can use it in so many different ways. And if you're really thrifty, you can normally find them at thrift stores around the country. They are so simple, and many people get them as gifts and then never use them and eventually clean out the garage. And where do they end up? At the thrift store for literally pennies on the dollar. Next, we're going to look at some menu ideas and maybe some money-saving swaps, because, you know, when you talk about meals, when the lights are out, you don't want to be fumbling with complicated recipes. It really needs to be a heat and eat, or just slap it together and you're done. So some menu ideas would include canned stew over instant mashed potatoes, pasta with jarred sauce and canned chicken, crackers with peanut butter and a mug of cocoa. I mean, that literally could be one of my favorite right there. Why do these work? they're filling, they're warm, and most of all, they are easy. It's foods that you probably already stock, because don't stock it if you don't eat it. And they boost morale in cold, stressful moments. Do you notice how we keep coming back to that morale? Because it's an issue. Now, how to pull it all together is going to be fun. Practice making these meals on your butane stove or your fondue pot or whatever thing that you've come up with, so you're comfortable before an emergency. You really do want to practice this. It's great in theory, but learning during an emergency is not fun. It's stressful, and you don't have the ability to think about it objectively. While we're talking about it, money-saving swaps. Buy dried beans in bulk, but cook them ahead and freeze portions instead of buying canned. You're going to save a fortune that way. If you're one of our home canners, then you know buying dried beans in bulk and then canning them means that you are saving a ton of money, and they are made just the way that you like them. Beans are so easy to change up with different spices and different things that they're a great instant meal when you need it. After the holidays, be sure that you grab cocoa and baking items on clearance, because that's the best time to buy anything. Keep powdered milk instead of multiple cartons. It's cheaper and it lasts longer. Do you already have a go-to blackout meal? Share it with me, and I might feature it in a future episode. One of our favorite blackout meals is soup. Any soup. You name it. Any soup at all. As long as I can get it warm, we are golden. But then again, there's the peanut butter, because peanut butter goes good on pretty much anything, right? I don't know about that, but it goes good on crackers, and it goes good on a spoon, so peanut butter is always handy to have around if you're not allergic to it. Food is crucial, but let's not stop there. A blackout affects your whole household. So what other kinds of things do you need? Well, as we mentioned, stored water, at least 2 gallons per person per day, and don't forget about the fur babies. You want to make sure that you have flashlights and lanterns, and that the batteries are good. Go through and check your batteries. Make sure you've got extra batteries. Extra batteries are great. Then there's battery packs or crank chargers to make sure that you can charge your phone, make sure that you can charge your flashlights or your lanterns. Those battery packs are fantastic. There are so many different kinds out there that it's just a matter of finding the kind that you like the best. We have small ones and we have big ones. We have ones that will literally jumpstart a backhoe, and then we have ones that will just make my phone last an extra 8 hours. Definitely check into battery packs. Thermal blankets and layered clothing. Go through your closet. Okay, fine. You hate that ugly sweater and you're thinking about putting it into the box for donation because it's just not you and you can't wear it anywhere. But is it super warm? If that's the case, I might tuck it into your blackout bag, and keep it for those times when it's really cold and you need to layer up. You want some good socks. You want a sweater or 3. You want some warm pants, even sweatpants. What better excuse to wear sweatpants than a blackout, And don't forget about the knit hats. It really makes a big difference. If you want to go as far as gloves or mittens, I highly recommend mittens because they've been proven to keep your hands warmer than gloves, because the digits touch each other and the heat transfers back and forth, where with gloves they don't. Now, why do you want to do this? You can't cook without water. You need water to do most of your cooking. Flashlights are so much safer than candles. I cannot express this enough. Please don't use just plain candles. Even if you would prefer candles, they have the ones that you can get just about anywhere now that take AAA or AA batteries. Some of them even have timers on them. We use them as night lights around the house because they turn on and turn off, and I'm not using the electric bill. But they do put enough light out there to adequately get you around the house. They're fantastic, and they are non-flammable. Battery packs keep communication lines open, and that's a big one because I know when it's a significant thing that if you are on Facebook or any other social media, you can normally keep an eye on what's happening in your area based on other people's posts, and it also gives you an opportunity to check with the power company and see what their outage map looks like and how bad it looks like it's going to be. Warmth means you burn fewer calories and need less food. So that is why having the extra food with a little bit more calories on it is helpful to be able to get you through a super cold time. How do we prepare for this? You guys are going to love this, okay? So store water in gallon jugs or water bricks where it won't freeze. Do keep it up off of a cement floor because that's not good for any of the containers. You want to put something between it, even if it's carpet, cardboard, or a pallet. Keep your flashlights in every room plus spare batteries. Know where all this stuff is. Charge your power banks before a storm. If you don't keep them charged all the time, at least plug them in when you hear that a storm is coming. Because most of the time we know they're coming now. You know, we have that privilege of having forecasters out there. You want to test your blankets, your coats, and your layers now. Don't wait until you're shivering. Turn that heat down for an evening and say, we're going to see how all of this works, you guys. And you just turn it down and you test out all of the stuff. Tonight, walk through your house with the lights off. Do you have what you need within reach? That's a good test to see where you're at for this. Let's recap today's Blackout Pantry episode, okay? We covered why winter outages are tougher, because it's winter. We built a winter blackout pantry list, hopefully. There's a lot of food that is super easy, no cook, no hard, difficult ways to, put it together that will get you through a tough situation. We explored some no-power cooking solutions. Still my favorite is the fondue pot. We shared simple menus and frugal swaps that you can do. Obviously, this all 100% depends on what your family currently eats today. That is where you will start. You don't want to buy stuff that you don't consume today. You want to stock what you eat and eat what you stock. Keep it rotating through. And we touched on whole house preparedness beyond food. This week I have a challenge for you, if you should accept it. Build a dedicated blackout shelf in your pantry, even if it's just a few cans, some cocoa, a backup stove. That's a huge step towards peace of mind. If you don't have a shelf, then find a tote, and put it all in the tote, and you mark it as blackout tote. Know where it is and be sure to label it if you have other totes. Now, I'm curious, what is the longest you've gone without power in winter? I would love to hear your stories because we learn the most from the people that we interact with, and between all of us, we have all experienced different levels of, oh gosh, I don't want to do this, As a quick reminder, this podcast is sponsored by me. What if your pantry was the best insurance you could buy, not just for storms or empty shelves, but for everyday peace of mind? Pantry Preparedness, the best insurance money can buy, by Leisa Sutton, is your step-by-step guide to creating a pantry that protects your family no matter what life throws your way. This isn't about panic or hoarding. It's about calm, sensible planning. Inside, you will discover simple steps to build a 30-day, 3-month, or even a 1-year pantry. Budget-friendly strategies to stock up without overspending, shelf life tips, and storage methods that really work. Proven systems to rotate food so that nothing goes to waste. If you've ever worried about rising grocery prices, noticed store shelves running empty, wanted to be ready for the unexpected, this book gives you the confidence, tools, and peace of mind to be prepared, affordably and wisely. Pantry Preparedness, the best insurance money can buy. Get your copy today on Amazon because food security isn't about fear, it's about freedom. By the way, with the holidays coming up, this book also makes a thoughtful gift for adult children, new homemakers, or anyone you want to encourage. Teaching someone how to prepare is one of the most loving things that you can do. And with that, I want to say thanks for tuning in, friends. Stay safe, stay prepared, and until next time, remember, every jar, every can, every little bit of planning makes you stronger. Keep stacking it to the rafters, my friends, and I hope to see you next week.